Hey guys. So it's been a little while since I last did this thing. It's been, I think, 4 months, I want to say. So I thought I'd just make this little video right now to kind of update y'all on what's been going on with my life the past 4 months. I don't know, I just decided it's been way too long since I last did this. I've kind of been back in the mood now that I have more time. We'll get to that in a minute as to why I have more time. And yeah, so let's get into it. So the last video that I have posted on this channel was of my 21st birthday. So that means that was in March. It is now mid-August. So it's been a hot minute and I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering what has been going on. What room is she in? This doesn't look like CP housing. Doesn't look like her house at home either in New York, because it's not. So to kind of fill you guys into now-ish, I finished out my original program, which was only till, I don't even know anymore, May, middle of May, end of May, beginning of May, I don't know, somewhere in May. I applied to extend. I was the only one of the roommates to apply to extend just because they all had summer things going on, so they weren't able to extend, which is very sad. So that kind of left me looking for roommates. So I asked my good friend Mason if she needed anybody to move into her place, because she lived over at the Commons, and it turned out that 3 of their roommates were actually moving out. So I was able to move in with them. So I was living with Mason, Mason's roommate Jill, and then their good friend Kennedy, who I roomed with. It was a lot of fun. The Commons is definitely a very different complex than Vista Way. It's very like bougie-ish, I want to say. It's the expensive of the 4 complexes, so it's kind of a bit of a culture shock going from Vista Way, which is the cheapest, to the Commons, which is one of the more expensive ones. But it was fine. It was only for about 2 months, and in my extension I got same role, same location, so I was still at Rock and Roller Coasters, still working there every day, having a blast, hanging out with all my friends. But I also was offered to get cross-trained over at ESPN Worldwide of Sports. Now, I was very excited at first to get this, and then it came time to cross-train over to ESPN. I was only there for about a week. I think it was 8 straight days, I want to say. Honestly, wasn't my vibe, wasn't really for me. I am really big into sports, but it was not what I was kind of expecting or thought was going to be. You were kind of just standing there, you were an usher. I watched wrestling for 8 days straight, so now I kind of understand that sport, which I guess that's kind of cool. I was able to take that away from the experience. But yeah, for me, ESPN Worldwide Sports, working there kind of wasn't really my vibe, so I was glad that it was only for a week. After that, my program was supposed to end July 25th. My mom had plans to come down the whole month of July and spend time with me, my last month down here, and then me, her, and my dad were all gonna take the auto train up to DC and then drive the rest of the way to New York. But in true Becca Cohen fashion, that did not happen. So about 2 weeks before my program was to end, my mom, my sister, and I were all sitting at Sci-Fi Cafe after one of my shifts one night, just having dinner, and we're just talking, and my mom mentioned to me that if I wanted to stay, she was okay with it. For me, the only reason why I wasn't planning on staying or trying to stay was because I didn't have the approval of either of my parents. They both wanted me to go back to school, finish my degree, finish out soccer, but with that approval of my mom, full steam ahead to make this Disney dream come true. If any of you know anything about getting a job after your college program, it's tricky, let me tell you. So what we have is called the Transfer Genie, and you're supposed to put in for it about 6 weeks before your program ends. That allows the system time to kind of process, find a job, find the interest that you put to help give you a job after the program. But with me, I had 2 weeks, and that is definitely not enough time for the system to be able to find you a job. So I was kind of a little bit stressed about that, but honestly wasn't too worried. I knew everything was going to happen that was supposed to happen. The main concern for my parents was school. So I headed over to UCF, kind of talked with an advisor over there. It didn't really seem like it was going to be the best fit. I was probably going to have to go to about 2.5 years more of school, and I was not about that. So I was kind of really bummed out after that. But for some reason, a really good idea popped into my mind. I knew that my current university had online degrees. I talked with an advisor on there, applied, was accepted, emails back and forth, lots of stuff. We were able to get it all sorted out, but it was a pain in the butt. But I was able to change my major, not have to go to too much more school, which isn't too bad considering I'm changing my major senior year. So I'm pretty happy with that. Schooling was all figured out and it was time to find a job. I was outside one day at Rock and Roller Coaster. We had a really bad Fast Pass line. I was out of Fast Pass, stressing my head off because it's my second time there and it's the second time we were having a really long line. I don't really know what was going on in the park that day, but we just could not get our lines under control. So our operations proprietor, he kept coming out, kept checking on the lines, making sure that the cast were doing well. And we had a little bit of a slower time at that point because the Fast Pass line was not moving, so there was nowhere for these people to go forward. So it was kind of a standstill. So me and him just kind of started getting just chatting a bit. He was asking me what I was doing after the program, and I said, well, I was trying to stay. I decided a few weeks ago that it was what I wanted, and I knew I didn't have much time. Luckily, he was like, oh, that's not a problem. I'll look into it for you. We'll get this all sorted out. And then within 2 days after that, I was offered a job, which was very exciting considering I went to casting and they said that they didn't have any attractions jobs, and I was able to get an attractions job within 2 days of talking to our operations proprietor, which was honestly amazing. So I want to say a big thank you to the Coaster fam and the proprietor for helping me live out my Disney dream. Unfortunately, I didn't get Rock and Roller Coaster, which I am kind of sad about because I love that place. It is like home. Everybody there is like a huge family, so I do miss that. But I did get a really cool attraction. So I am working at Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom. I've been there for 2.5 weeks now, I think, something like that. And it's honestly been a lot of fun. It's very different from Coaster, much more like slow paced, although there is a lot more going on because we do have so many rooms, so many staff. It's honestly such a huge operation that I'm really excited that I'm able to be a part of. Everybody there is so nice, so kind. If you have any questions at all, I literally never hesitate to ask. I always ask, and there's always someone there who is willing to, you know, talk to me, give me the information I need, or just lead me to the person that I do need to talk to. So that has been honestly amazing. As I said, no longer a CP, which kind of sad about. CP life was fun, but I am very glad because that now means that I have more time. I'm only part-time over at Flight of Passage, so they are scheduling me 3 days a week, which honestly, totally fine for me. Not a big deal. 3 days is enough. Also able to pick up other days at Flight of Passage and also at Coaster because I still have my proficiencies, which means that there hasn't been an update yet that says I can't work the attraction anymore. So I'm able to still go back every once in a while and see the fam again, which is honestly so much fun. I love going over to Coaster. I honestly love Hollywood Studios. That's gonna be my baby forever. The first park I ever worked at, first location I was ever at for this company. So Studios would definitely have a very special place in my heart always. That's not to say that Animal Kingdom isn't so much fun. Honestly, having a blast over there right now, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. So that is kind of everything that I wanted to talk about. Kind of catch you guys up to speed, be like, hey, I'm still a thing. I live in Florida now. That is very crazy to say. I don't think it's hit me yet that I live in Florida. I no longer live in New York or Pittsburgh. Wow, that's hitting me right now. I did post over on Instagram to see if there's any burning questions that you guys wanted me to answer. Let's head on into that now. So, one of the questions is perks of working at DAC. I don't really think I have a perk yet just because I've been there for such a short time. I mean, I am able to kind of know some tips and tricks related to the Land of Pandora and Flight of Passage, and kind of like best times to go, best time not to go, how to get fast passes, that type of stuff. Kind of more like operational stuff related to the ride. So the next question is, what do you miss most about working at Rock and Roller Coaster? So Rock and Roller Coaster is a very intense and highly active location to be working at. Like, it's constantly like go, 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 just because that's just how it is. So I don't really miss that aspect of it being so fast and quick paced that like a split-second decision can like put guests' life in like jeopardy kind of type thing and like get you in trouble a little bit. The thing that I do miss most about Rock and Roller Coaster is the people. The people there, like I said before, one huge family. Honestly, like anytime I go back now after being away for a week, it's like a huge like welcome party, and like I feel like honestly like a celebrity, and I like, it's great. Everyone's great there. I miss them all. So yeah, that's what I miss the most. So another question is, what do you miss most about being on the DCP? I think the one thing that I miss the most is the friendships that you make on the program. When I first started, I didn't think it was gonna be as intense as it was, like friendship wise, because I don't get close to people easily, and within 2 months, 2.5 months, I have some of my best friends from the program already. Still talk to them to this day, absolutely love them, would die for them. So I'm so thankful of the friendships that the college program gave me. And another question is, what is your favorite Disney song? So it's not a song in particular, but more of a show that no longer exists. If you catch where I'm going, it's Wishes. The show is honestly my favorite of all time. The soundtrack is amazing. I know it all by heart. I used to shower to it. Long story, not gonna get into it. Favorite place to visit. So my favorite place to visit is Disney World, hence why I now work and live at Disney World. But being down here and always being at Disney World, I will say my favorite place now to visit is the beach. I always grew up about, I don't know, 15 to 25 minutes from a beach. So it's very different from being down here where the beaches aren't as accessible. I mean, yeah, like it's an hour and a half, but fine, not a big deal. I'm just used to it being like down the street. So I do miss the beaches a lot. So that's probably my favorite place to visit now, being down here in Disney, which is my favorite place to be, period. So yeah. And last question is, what is the funniest moment on your DCP? I have so many funny moments that it's hard to pick just one, but I will say probably all the funny moments would be coming home after work and all the roommates being there in the living room and just having just a grand old time. Let me tell you, we are all hot messes. Our lives are chaotic. I have so many funny memories with my roommates that it's hard honestly just to pick one. But if you're watching and you know who you are, this is what I'm gonna leave it at. Hot nuggets and Tide Pods. That's it. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you let me know down below. If you didn't, also make sure you let me know down below. I do have another vlog coming up really soon. It is all edited and everything. Just wanted to post this one first, so you guys were like up to date on my life. It's all about Galaxy's Edge, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And yeah, that is it. I'll see you all real soon. Oh my god, my legs are gonna die. But my favorite food in general is actually, give me a hot minute while I pull it up. So Becca, cut this out.